Alright, welcome back everyone. My son CHIMPCHOMP and I are playing a little bit of Castle Crashers, sorry. I always want to say Crushers. But anyway, he and I both love this game. If you haven't tried it out, it's really cool. I'm using the blue knight, he's using the orange knight. And we have decided that after messing around with it for a while and maxing out our strength and our shield, we're going to go play the final level, which is in the wizard's castle. So this is a kind of a lengthy video. I'm going to hope that it all posts okay. I may not narrate the last part of it, but at least this way you'll know. And here, as we go up to the main castle, there's lots of rocks that fall, and the way to find out where the rocks are coming is right before they fall. There's little trickles of dust that come down, and you just want to try to get out of the way of them. So as we make our way up to the wizard's castle, you get up here and then you just stop, and it depends on what kind of animal orbs you want to take with you. I'm taking the chicken with me because it increases your strength, and CHIMPCHOMP is taking Giraffe with him because he helps your level up at least 15% faster. When you start out with these dudes that have these little prod swords, and their magic is kind of powerful if you don't have your shield all the way up. And as you can see, our main attack that we're using is a jump attack, and you can just sort of do a staggered hit on them. If you can get them going, you can just keep hitting your attack button and it just keeps hitting them. My weapon of choice in this game is the meat cleaver because it carries perhaps the most damage out of all the weapons that you can get, and you can buy that in the snow village on the map. I think it's about 500 and some coins. Not very expensive. So we're just using some teamwork. He's taking out his side and I'm taking out my side. And he's really good at it too. My shield happens to be a little bit higher than his, so my health is a little bit stronger. So a couple times he does end up going down, but that doesn't really matter. I just revive him. This is the first out of the 3 different bosses. He's the painter. And he just comes down and goes over and swipes a couple times, and whatever he paints comes to life. Now if you don't have your shield maxed out all the way, these little derpy creations he paints take off a massive amount of health. So as he comes down, you just swarp at him a few times, and then he goes back up. Swarp, swarp, swarp. Paint, 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 and then you get out of the way. I'm not really carrying right now because I have about 5 health potions on me, and I just want to get him out of the way. I mean, look how derpy that is. It's kind of cool though. I mean, he's got a toolbox for a head. How cool is that? I don't know. I just think he's really cool. And once you start wearing his health down, he'll start sending out 2 and 3 of them at a time. And here, once you get him to this level, he walks around and he calls out instead of painting them, he just calls out to them when they come out. At this point, the enemies are much easier to beat. They're just 1 hit or 2 hit kills. I just leveled up there. I think I'm 33. I'm not sure. And you just stay at him and don't worry about the creations. Just wear him out until he's done. Get your treasure, and then you have to go back out. He is also a good boss to just come back and keep fighting if you want to gain a lot of XP. If your shield is all the way up, but you want to level up a little bit more, maybe you want to max out your magic. When you go up the steps and go into this room, some people don't know what to do, but you just attack this crystal until you destroy it all the way. I don't know what I was doing. Sometimes when I play with somebody else, I get mixed up and I can't remember which one I am. Alright, so we're going to destroy this crystal, and then you just walk over top of it and it takes you back out to the main entrance. Now here's where a lot of people go wrong. You'll see that the other door actually opens, but some people want to go back out, but that takes you back out to the beginning of the level. Now this is where you encounter the reincarnation of the Cyclops that you battled in the Cyclops castle earlier, except this time he has the groom's casket with him. And some people think he's more difficult, but actually I think he's easier this time around. What you need to do is you need to go up and hit him a couple times and then move out of the way, and he'll just swing his casket and miss. Then you swarp him again and move out of the way. And then he wants to shoot some fireballs, so you just back up and dodge them. Now here you cannot hurt him in any way here. You just need to run around and stay away from the little groom because you cannot do damage to him. Don't let him jump on your head with the casket, and then just move. Just keep moving in a circular motion until he goes back in the casket. And then you just repeat the process. You swarp him a few times and move out of the way. It's so easy. And he doesn't do anything else the whole time. He doesn't do any special attack when he gets low on health or anything. He just keeps doing his deal. It's funny, you can fake out the little groom guy. See there, he just runs straight off the screen like an idiot. Now if he does hit you with the casket, he sort of does what the barbarian boss does. He drives your head in the mud and you have to wiggle your joystick back and forth in order to get out of the mud or get out of the dirt. So we just keep swarping at him the whole time. Teamwork. I think he and I make a good team. We love to play this game together. And it's a great, I guess, option when you get tired of playing or you get frustrated with Black Ops or Modern Warfare or something. Then I like to go play games like this because I think it's a really cool game and that the multiplayer is set up really well. You can have up to 4 people play at the same time. Again, I got lost. I thought I was up there. But I think being able to have at least 4 people is great. As you can tell, we're just trying to get up there and hit him before he does his casket deal again because his health is so low and we just couldn't make it. So now we got to run around again away from this stupid groom guy. Alright, so my partner CHIMPCHOMP is down. I'm going to try to revive him here in a minute. And to do that, you just go over and you hit Y, but you want to hit the Y once the little sensor goes over the heart. And he comes up and he has to swarp me. Whatever. One hit and he's done. Then I'll revive my partner. And it looks like I'm just stealing the treasure here, but we already have enough money to where we don't really care. We don't really care who gets it. It just needs to be gotten. The money is easy to get once you get past a certain level on this game anyway, so it's not an issue. And if you're playing with someone, it should never be an issue because really the only thing you need is the meat cleaver and you can just go through the entire game. The trick is finding the objects that help get you here. You know, the compass is easy because you go to the blacksmith shop and get it, but to get the telescope and get the wheel, those are 2 different things. So we may end up putting up some videos later and tell you how to get those. You see the 3rd door opens here, the 3rd portal, but I realized that CHIMPCHOMP doesn't have any health potions. So we're going to exit to the map and come back in and get some health potions. Now you can buy up to 5 health potions at a time, and that's what I always recommend. No matter what you do, you need to have at least 5 health potions on you at all times. You don't have really a limit to what you can carry, it's just the amount of that item that you can carry. Now the cool thing about the final boss level is that yeah, you got to go back through these rinky-dink dudes again, but they're pretty easy to beat. So you beat them up again, but once you get back to the boss area, well, we've already beaten the painter and reincarnated Cyclops. You don't have to beat those 2 again. Those portals remain open. So if you want to exit and go out and get health potions or go to get a different weapon, whatever it is you want to do, you can do that. And you just have to beat this initial group of enemies before you go on. So we're just going to take our time here and do our thing. Now I've chosen the Blue Knight because I don't really use magic. I think the Blue Knight's magic is crappy. He just throws down a block of ice and that's about it. But I also chose him because when you beat the game with the Blue Knight, you unlock the Industrialist. And I think he has the highest magic in the game personally, because he throws out that little saw wheel, and once you max it out, it's a 2-hit kill on most bosses. So I wanted to unlock him. Now you can unlock a lot of other characters too, and most of those you unlock by going to the stadiums and beating all the different people that come out of the stadiums. Now this is the Necromancer level, and you have to be careful here because he resurrects all kinds of enemies, and you can get lost in this in a hurry. And you can see we even have beefy guys that come out later, and this is just the first part of his level. The first time I played him, I actually played it by myself, and it was a little bit easier because there was just less traffic. But if I had to make a recommendation, even though I have chicken as an animal orb to increase my strength, I really like to bring the little hawkster. He's a little hawk that you can have, because he will claw your enemies once they're down, but he also will bring you fruit that they drop so that you don't have to go get it. And just about every enemy that you encounter on here will drop fruit once you destroy them. Now you can see we're in the second stage, and you've got some beefy guys. If you just kind of train them like you would on zombies or something, and then just jump and hit them and keep going the other way. So you just jump a little backwards and hit them and keep running. You don't want to attack them head on. There's just too much magic, too many enemies, and they'll sandwich you in a corner, and that's the end of it. One thing that people forget on this level is that they get caught up in the action and they forget to look at their health bar. They forget to monitor that. So once it gets pretty low, if you haven't defeated enough enemies to drop some fruit, then you want to use a health potion. And remember, you can always go back out to the map and get more if you need to. So if you have to use 5 health potions to beat the Necromancer, then use them. Because once he's defeated, you don't have to worry about him anymore. You just go out and buy 5 more, you got plenty of cash, and come back into the next one. So we're almost done, and then he's going to drop down and fight us. You can see I'm just jumping a little bit backwards and swiping at him. If you get too close, he'll throw you like that, which is a lot less damage than it is when he hits you. If you get thrown, that's all the better, because it just puts a little more distance between you and him. Now here's the Necromancer. Now if you're fighting him by yourself, he does 2 throw attacks. He does that little skull thing he throws at you, and that can actually be blocked with your shield. The other one he does is he sends up like this big long line of skeleton hands that grab at you. You cannot block that. So once he starts doing that magic, and you can see that he turns red by powering up, or purple, then you just need to get out of the way. So you run back, you get out of the way of his magic, and come up and swarp at him again. He doesn't do a lot of sword attacks in this one. It's a lot of magic. See, CHIMPCHOMP's magic is so cool. He shoots out fireballs. Mine's just a block of eyes. And see, he's throwing that out again. That one we can block. If you pay attention, if you're playing it by yourself and you pay attention to when he powers up, you can block that attack. Just make sure you're facing in the right direction. So you go up and you'd hit a few times, back away, block his magic, go back and hit him a few more times, back away, stay away from the hands, don't let him close the distance on you, and you'll be just fine. There's no other secret to him. I have the game volume turned down quite a bit. I'm going to hope that the audio comes through enough to where you can understand. The audio on this particular game is actually pretty loud, and it has some pretty cool songs in it, I might add, especially the boss songs. You can see we've pretty much worn him out. And CHIMPCHOMP is doing a good job keeping an eye out on his health so he doesn't go down. And we're just making little circular motions around him, trying to flank him. Because he kind of goes in a straight line. Sometimes he'll move diagonally, but he very rarely goes in a circle. And just like that, he's done. And when he's done, he actually leaves a weapon, so you want to pick it up. And if you don't want that weapon, all you have to do is touch it, and then go back and get your weapon, and it will add it to the froglet in the blacksmith shop. The meat cleaver is actually stronger than the necromancer's sword. and you just sort of have to look and see which one is strongest for you, or which one that you use best. It will also depend on how high your agility level is set. I don't mess with the agility because I just use jump attacks, but it depends on which style of play you like to use the most. And now the final portal opens up, and this is the final boss battle, and it's a pretty lengthy one. So you get on this little rock and it takes you up here, and then he's going to turn in, I think, 4 or 5 different things here. So when you go into this, make sure you have enough health potions because you're going to need them. The first stage of the final battle are these 4 little crystal shards, and you just want to run around and try to sucker them into coming down at you, because once they stick in the ground, that's when you attack them. And they eventually will crack and break apart, and then they don't come back. So you just keep moving. Just keep moving. Now, they only stay in the ground a certain amount of time, so you want to move fast. Once you see one go down, go to it. Now see, I've leveled up twice just by working on the boss battles. It's a really good way to gain a lot of XP in a hurry. Because I found that sometimes I just like to go back and play certain levels just for the action, just to go in and fight the enemies. I pretty much have all the animal orbs already, so I'm not really looking for anything like that. If you need to know where a certain item is, like the golden sword or something like that, then let me know in the comment section. I'll tell you where it's located. It's not a problem. This is the second part. He has a shield up. He actually comes down to fight you. Now his magic, as you can imagine, is super strong, so stay out of the way as much as possible. And it's not a one-shot thing, it's 4 or 5 shots. When his shield turns red, that's when you need to go on the attack. That's when he's vulnerable. But it only stays red for a certain amount of time, and then it goes back blue. As you can see now, we're starting to take off a little bit of damage to him. So again, circular motions, flank him, stay out of his direct path, and you'll be fine. You can attack him when it's blue, but it doesn't take off nearly as much damage. It looks like it takes off 35 or 32, but if you'll notice, his bar barely moves. But when it turns red, that's when it starts going down. And you have to wear him down to a certain health point before he changes into his next form. So you just stay at him. Of course, I'm not able to revive him. He's going to come up and knock me off every time. It's annoying. And I don't really want to fight him on my own right now. I'd like for CHIMPCHOMP and I to do it together as a team, so I'm trying to revive him every time he goes down. Sometimes teams will wait until that part of the boss stage is finished and then revive him, but he changes way too quickly. On the final boss, you can't do that. You're going to have to revive your partner as soon as he goes down because of the rate at which he changes. So now he's starting to move a little bit faster, so we know we're wearing him down quite a bit here. The CHIMPCHOMP is paying attention to his health meter, trying to tempt his luck here a little bit. So he's trying to save his health potions for the final part of it, because we know that he has more than one form that he's going to take, so we have to be careful. We don't want to exit on this one and have to come back in, just because we don't want to have to go back through the other stages that we've come through already. So our strategy is, as long as I have enough health, then he can just go at him. Now this phase is actually an easier one, and he does this twice. You just need to jump up and hit him and stay away from the balls that he drops. He sort of inflates like a puffer fish and just floats around. So just jump and wail at him for a little while and he'll change again. And if you'll notice that each one of his forms, his health bar goes all the way back up. But he's much easier to wear down on this one. No shield, no nothing, just circular motions. Just go up and swarp at him. And he'll come back down. Then he'll change to his next form. And this is a scorpion form that's kind of cool. You want to stay away from that claw. And he actually poops out enemies that will come at you. Don't worry about them. Just go after him. The strategy here is you go up and you hit him twice and then move away. You see, I just did it right there, and you won't even get touched. It's going to be a slow battle. But don't worry about the guys coming around you. Our strategy was as a team that CHIMPCHOMP was going to fight the guys down low and then come get him every so often just to keep them off me. But even if you're playing solo, it's perfectly feasible for you to just go in and hit him and then move. And those guys, they're not going to hurt. Even if they hit you, it's not going to take off that much damage. Not as much as he will. Just let him do his thing. He's just throwing a temper tantrum. Now here I don't have much of a choice but to wait a few minutes before I go revive CHIMPCHOMP. Because where he's moving around on foot and he's so large on the screen, you just don't really have enough time. You've got his little goons over there going to come at you just as soon as you get over there to revive your partner. So if you try to take him out, he's just going to poop out more. Very regular guy. See, there comes another one. I mean, it's not every day that you get pooped into life. But poop is a recurring theme on this game. It's kind of funny. Especially on in the Thieves' Forest, you'll see a deer gets so scared that it poops and it just squirts itself all the way across the screen. It's hilarious. So they add a lot of comedy to it too, and I think that's kind of cool. As you can see, I'm just using my same strategy. Just hit him a few times and walk away. My health is still fine because my shield is all the way maxed out. Because every time you level up to a certain point, you start off by getting 2 bars and then 1 bar, and just allocate that to whichever part you want. I started with strength and then I went to shield. So now I'm just going to warp at him a little bit because I know this is easy. I'm not going to revive my partner just right yet. I'm going to wait, not because I don't want him to, but just because I wanted to play it safe. So now we're both back into it, and we're going to go back to doing what we're doing. It's much better to wait until you know you're not going to get killed while you're reviving your partner, because then both of you lose. Now this is the one where he pulls out his lava sword. Now he has 2 primary attacks here. He has a fireball, besides just the sword attack itself. He has the fireballs. When he jumps up, you just start walking around in circles. And then he'll come at you with like a wheel motion where he spins over and over and over. You just need to move out of the way. And there it goes. Just move out of the way, let him do his thing, get dizzy, and then go back to swarping him again. It's super easy. Now just move around. Just walk is all you have to do. You don't have to worry about zigzags or anything. Just walk. His aim is atrocious. Now he's going to do his thing, so we're just going to move. Let him go. And go up and start attacking again. Just walk out of the way. Walk out of the way. If you look at the patterns of his attacks, it's easy to see what he's going to do next. I think some players would just sort of flip out about the fireballs and stuff. But we've already almost beaten him. If you look at his bar, he's almost gone. And we're in good shape. And there we go. CHIMPCHOMP got the lava sword, which is awesome. It's a really good weapon. It's not quite as strong as the meat cleaver, but it's a really good weapon. Now the remainder of the video I sort of let go because there's actually some funny things that happen at the end during the rolling credits, sort of like an aftermath. And there's actually a part of it that's so derpy it's hilarious. And I let it roll just because if you're watching this, it's definitely worth it to wait until all the credits roll through because they do some pretty funny stuff. So at this point, you're just taking the crystal back to the king's palace where it belongs. You're going to go through all the stages that you went through to get where you got to at the final battle. And again, you know, we didn't use anything special. We had a weapon that we didn't have to find. We bought it. And all we did was max out our strength and our shield. And take with you 5 health potions at least. and know the patterns, and that you can exit back out to the map before you get to the final boss if you need to buy more health potions. That's pretty much all you need to do. The animal orbs help a little bit, but they're not necessarily important. You could do it without any animal orbs whatsoever. There are certain objects in the game that require certain animal orbs, but once you get to the final boss, then you don't really need them if you don't want to take them with you. Like you have to have an animal orb to get the boomerang, for example. In the Thief Forest, you have to have the cardinal animal orb. Now here's the big cat that chases you through the like the abandoned mine shaft. If you can go through that and not hit any doors or logs, you actually get 20 points on your gamer score for being some sort of animal something. I can't remember what it is. It's sort of taking you in reverse of the things that you had, the biggest things you had to accomplish to get to the final one. So we'll let this play here just a moment, and I'll show you what I'm talking about when it gets kind of funny. Especially in the party room at the king's palace, the king's castle. But if you want to unlock more characters, just beat the game on regular mode with different knights, and you'll unlock different characters. You'll see at the end it tells me that I've unlocked the industrialist. And if you want to unlock the others besides the ones you have to buy in the add-on packs with Microsoft points, then you just need to go to the arenas and beat all the levels of each arena. And just take health potions with you, and that's all you need to do. Once you do that, you'll unlock certain characters. Alright, so here they're jamming out. It's kind of funny. Here comes the king. And supposedly, you're supposed to get his daughter as a gift. Take his daughter as a wife, and so you have to fight each other. CHIMPCHOMP's life is so low, he's like, just kill me and go ahead and do it. So that's what we're going to do. It's not that we want to fight each other, but... Now, I go up here to kiss her like you do with the other ones. Look, what's this guy doing? Anyway, you go to kiss her, and here's what happens. There's your prize. That's the first part of what's derpy. I mean, look at this. It's like somebody on drugs or something. And you're like hallucinating. You got a bunch of penguins walking around a rainbow-looking clown. And look at that derpy face those things have. Watch, he just goes down. He's like, I'm out. Peace. That's the craziest thing ever. And then they go up the side. I mean, this guy's tripping out. And that's the end of it. So let me know if you have trouble finding anything, or if you need to know where an object is, but that's how you beat Castle Crashers. Thanks for watching. And there's my character, the Industrialist. So that's what you have to do to get him. So see, we're starting to max out the other stuff.